There's a lot of pressure.
For that.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, so I have a curious. I'm going to go around the table for this. We're going to go rapid fire because I know we only have a certain amount of time. But I have the 50 over 50 list, which has been so successful with Forbes and Know Your Value. And I believe everyone here is over 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever imagine your career in your 50s and your greatest impact being over the age of 50? Gretchen Whitmer.
I thought I was going to be a sports broadcaster, so I never could have fathomed I'd be sitting here as the governor of the great state of Michigan.
Okay. Governor Lujan Grisham.
I thought I was going to be a comedian, and in some respects,
well,
in many respects, that came true. So no, I didn't seek a political career. It happened, but I love it. I love my job, and I love the impact I'm having.
Governor Tina Kotek.
Yeah, I was reflecting being back in D.C. almost 4 decades ago now. I was a student here. I was in college, seeing homelessness for the first time. It was the Reagan years.
Oh.
And now as governor, I'm, solving our homelessness and housing issues in Oregon. I'm just so proud to be there. No one plans for this at the end of the day, but I think we're all really glad to have the roles we have.
And Governor Kelly, did you plan in your 20s for having your most impact in your greatest career challenge after the age of 50?
Can you 70?
Seriously? Did you ever imagine?
No, I did not imagine. I really wanted to replace Mickey Mantle in center field for the New York Yankees. That was my life goal. So
you could still
clearly, there's time, but there's other things to do now.
There are other things to do. And I have to say that, I had a very fulfilling career, 2 of them actually, before I became governor, before I became a state senator. But, there's no job that's given me more satisfaction than this one. The ability to every morning get up and do some good for people is amazing.
Yeah. It's such an honor, isn't it?
It is.
Just curious, when you were in your 20s, did you say, when I'm 55, when I'm 65, I'm going to be...
I had dropped out of college. I went to San Francisco, Summer of Love. That's how old I am. And then I hitchhiked through Europe, all kinds of things. But my role models growing up were Margaret Chase Smith, who lived down the road from me and a good friend of the family, and Nancy Drew. Neither of which led me to think, one day I'll be governor. But I knew I could do things. I knew I could solve crimes. I knew I could run for office if I wanted to, if I chose. But I didn't choose to run for office till much later.
Yeah.
And I was the first woman district attorney in the Northeastern United States, then first woman AG, and then first woman governor. But I'm hoping there'll be a lot more firsts for a lot of other women in the trades and other professions, too.
So did Kathy Hochul in her 20s go, I'm going to be so impactful well after 50, and it's just going to be my most impactful time in my life?
You don't foresee it, but here's the difference between men and women. I want to change this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 18 or 22-year-old guys that I'm going to run for president someday.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
And so the answer is no for my generation.
But it better be yes.
But I'm going to make sure that, I was a staffer right here on Capitol Hill. I was attorney for Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan.
I love it.
Worked with Tim Russert when I was in high school, getting Senator Moynihan elected. I was always going to be the brains behind the guys who ran for office. I wrote their speeches. I wrote their policy. I never envisioned it, but I want that to stop with our generation.
That's right. Sherry needs to be thinking of her career well after 50, your daughter who's here. Okay,
absolutely.
Really quickly, all around the table, starting with Governor Hochul. President Biden blasted Republicans, I'm sure you've heard it, for, talking about cuts to Social Security and Medicare and then denying it.
Yeah.
But he really called them out. Are you hearing from your constituents about this, Governor Hochul?
Oh, yes.
What are they saying? What's the bottom line?
The bottom line is Democrats start owning the issues that were always ours, Social Security and Medicare. That's how I got elected to Congress a decade ago in the most Republican district in New York, because I leaned hard into those issues. President Biden is right to call them out on it, make them literally stand up in support of it, and then let them go and try to do something else when they get into the hearing.
He's done a great job in so many ways. He doesn't get credit, not in the least. And I think we're hearing about the ribbon cuttings that we're doing all across our states, even in red states and red governors. Ribbon cuttings are very popular, even when those members of Congress from those red states didn't even vote for those programs, the American Rescue Plan, for instance, and the IRA. So people are responding very well to the projects that are being done with the funds that Congress and the president, this president, promoted.
Governor Kelly.
Yeah, I think, in Kansas, we're a little bit different. We sort of tend to stay away from the national issues and really just focus like a laser on things that are happening right there at home. And so, no, I haven't gotten a lot of feedback from my constituents on that particular issue. But I do know that they're very excited about the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed, making a huge difference in our state.
Before we jump to you, just how is the abortion issue playing out in your state?
We saw what happened in August when, 60% of Kansans went to the polls and said, no, we support a woman's right to make her own private medical decisions. And I think it hasn't had that much impact on the legislature. I think they're still going to come forward with some more restrictions on abortion. But I think they know now that it will be much more of an uphill battle. And I think the people of Kansas have given some of the legislators who tend to be more moderate, tend to believe in women's reproductive rights, will be able to vote their conscience.
Governor Kotek, are you hearing from your constituents about Social Security and Medicare? And
no, but what we're hearing about is they want government, they want their leaders to get things done. And like the president said in his message, let's get it done. Let's work together. Let's solve problems.
I think he said finish the job, and it didn't sound like a campaign. Yeah, it kind of did, actually. I'm just saying, Governor Grisham.
That we have one of the fastest growing aging populations in the country.
Right.
In short order, and have the third largest over 60 population per capita in the country. So Social Security and Medicare, bedrock issues in New Mexico, always have been. The shift here after Biden's speech is we assume that after the Trump tax cuts, which created in large part the issues with the national debt and the budget, the New Mexicans now unequivocally believe that the Republican agenda is to protect big corporations and not protect men and women who retired successfully and need Social Security for dignity.
Narrative is flipping. Gretchen Whitmer.
Michigan's similar to New Mexico with an aging population, and I do think that these are important aspects to feeling secure, knowing that, this president's going to fight to protect all of these important programs. I also, similar to, what my colleague said, I ran on fixing the damn roads. And my first term had a legislature that would not work with me. I did everything I could unilaterally, but it was phenomenal to have those kind of resources coming in from the federal government. And I'm proud that the nation's Fix the Damn Roads guy now calls Michigan home, and that is Secretary Buttigieg.
There you go, Pete. Mayor Pete. All right, Governors Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, Michelle Lujan Grisham of New Mexico, Tina Kotek of Oregon, Laura Kelly of Kansas, Janet Mills of the great state of Maine, and Kathy Hochul of the great state of New York. All great states. Thank you so much. And we'll be right back with much more Morning Joe.